How's it going, everybody? We are back wrapping up week 4 of prep here. Has not gone as I would have liked so far, but still some good things we got done this week. Still a solid game plan going forward here. The one thing was on Friday, on my second bench day, I did get a bit of a pec cramp on my first set. I was supposed to do like 4 sets of 5 or 5 sets of 5 with 292, and literally the first set on the third rep, right on the way up, like right off my chest, I felt a bit of a strain. So I just pretty much called it there and just did some lighter accessory stuff. I was going to try to bench on Saturday, just light, just to see how it felt, but it still was, pretty sore and aching a little bit. So I just decided to hold off for that. So Saturday was just squat and deads, which still went very well, which I'll talk about later on. But yeah, just bench is kind of now going to be on the back burner a little bit, at least for the next week or two, just as I kind of see, how it feels. So it probably won't be until Thursday or Friday, maybe even like Friday or Saturday, until I try to bench again, and just see how it goes, because I don't want to try to work back up to what I was supposed to be doing and then, get hurt even worse. So it is feeling a lot better today, though. So it's Sunday today. Headed into the gym just for some cardio. But yeah, from Friday, it's still feeling pretty good. Again, not like I'm sitting here in constant pain or anything. It's not anything crazy, but just it's going to cause me not to be able to bench what I would like for the next week or so. So squats and deads are really going to be the focus for this upcoming week, especially because this Saturday is going to be my last SBD triple day. So I'll still, try to push squat and dead on the top end for triples. I'm assuming, I'd like to hit somewhere in the realm of 450 on squat and 470 on deadlift, which would still be pretty good, basically matching my all-time bests and, more than I was able to do in my last prep. So that'll still be good. And I'm not really worried about bench or anything. I think it's still just going to pick up fine. Again, it's not like I got some serious injury or something that's going to cause me to not be able to do what I want to do, but just gonna kind of have to change how we're doing things for now. But yeah, feeling good. The only thing I really need to be improving is my sleep. I've been getting very little sleep recently, and I know that's the most important thing. So everything else has been going, my steps have been going well. I'm walking a lot more, drinking a lot more water, just like the basic kind of stuff that I needed to be improving. But really now it is just getting my sleep in order, and I think recovery will be a lot better and things like that. But it's those little things that might have even been causing what made my pec hurt in the first place. So again, just gonna play that by feel, really try to push squat and deadlift this week, and then do a little deload after that, which might even be the best case scenario for benching right now anyway. So and we'll see how it goes. But this video is going to be a little bit shorter just because of the bench that I was not able to do. But let's dive into what we got done this week. So day 1, I did switch it up. I started benching in the week instead of squatting, just to see if I was carrying too much fatigue from Saturday and it would influence how my squat moved. But same bench as always, Spoto press. I did a 3x8 here with 270, and it did feel pretty good. The one thing I will be changing, though, is from here on out, I'm going to continue doing Spoto. It's just going to be, one top set, still with the same amount of reps, still 8, but it would just be 1 set of 8 and then back down sets from that. So I can already imagine next week is going to be, 240 or 275 for 8, and then probably 242 or something like that, just so I can still get the volume in without putting, too much strain on myself, especially now that my pec is kind of, day by day. I guess, it's not a huge deal, but these move fine. Again, it's not going to be some major thing, but just going to be something I'm, being wary of. So was happy with how these move, but definitely we're at the weight that it's going to have to be a top set and back down sets, but still want to make sure this is where I'm getting most of my bench volume from. So day 2, then we did have pause squats. Same thing, pretty much sets of 5 here with 375. These did feel difficult. I didn't really feel any difference between doing them today or Monday. Still able to get, depth down, still getting my pauses fine. It's just a point, with squats that it always just feels hard, and I might just have to deal with that and just get it done anyway. Even though, because they look completely fine now that I'm rewatching it, but in the moment, it felt really difficult. But again, this might be another situation of doing a top set and back downs. Maybe not next week, but certainly after the deload. So I'm not gonna have to task myself with too much on these days and really just hammer accessories instead for right now. But again, glad that I'm able to hit good depth still. I would like to get the bar a little bit more down my back like I was in my last prep. My mobility is just kind of trash, I guess, on that. But again, confidence is getting up there, and gonna have to just keep getting that standard to really push myself here and just deal with the fact that it's gonna be heavy. This is our day 3 comp bench. This is literally all I got done. As I mentioned, my first set is where I felt a bit of a cramp, so I did 3 reps here, and they just felt it on the third and just racked it. Which is annoying because they are completely fast, and I would have gotten the workout done fine. But day 4, then I just decided to do squats and deadlifts. Didn't record all my warm-ups, but got my last warm-up here, 407. Heavier than I'll usually take a last warm-up for, but I didn't want to do a crazy huge jump to my top set here, 435 for 3. This set, it felt difficult. Again, same thing. Like I kind of had a different realization than I did earlier in the week, where it's just going to be difficult, or it's going to feel difficult, but it's moving fine. And these were still fine. And this is only 15 pounds away from the heaviest triple I've ever done on squats. And the fact that I'm not taking any spots on this is good for just my confidence, I think, even though that last rep, the bar did roll up on my back a little bit, but still feeling really good. Moving right into deads, 375 last warm-up. Definitely fixed a lot of the technique issues that I was having and my positioning because I jumped right to my top set of 451. And it felt very good. My hips aren't going crazy high or anything like they were. I'm getting real nice and wedged. And, we'll see how week 5 progresses, but that's all I got for this week. Stay tuned, guys.